Hello, beautiful souls. How are we doing today? You have found the Bobbi Jo and Sheena show. Two friends, two colleagues, here to change the world, spreading kindness wherever we go, and teaching you how to think. We all think we're thinking, but we're not thinking. And that's what we're doing now. We are going over what we coach called thinking into results. There we are there, the it's broken off. It's been so used, Sheena. Thinking into Results. It is 12 lessons by Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor, who passed away 2 years ago now. I can't believe how quick time has gone. But a man left a legend, a legacy behind. He studied for 60 years and he brought all his knowledge into these 12 lessons. And today is lesson 5, which happens to be called what the course is about. It's called Thinking into Results, staying in charge no matter what. What do you have to say, Sheena?
It is one of the most powerful lessons, and it was one of the ones that I remember Bob saying, before you do anything, do this lesson. So what he's talking about are using our intellectual faculties, and I'll give you my version of it because everybody has a different version of it, and that's what's the beauty about these lessons is that what is it that resonates with you and how you actually use them. So the way I see it is we start off first of all with perception. What perception do you have of yourself? If you have a crappy perception of yourself, then everything else is just going to be crappy after that. But if you start to ask yourself this question, who am I? I mean, that's a deeper one than we're going to go into right now. So, but just play with me for now. So let's just play on the human level that, do you think that you are the best mum in the world? Or that you are the best, corporate person in the world? Or do you think that that you owe something to somebody because you're not good enough? What is the perception of yourself? Are you a winner? Is that what you say? Because if you don't think you're a winner, well, then do you think you're a loser? Oh, stuff never works out for me. So what is the perception of yourself? What is the concept of yourself? Because that is going to drive all your results. And if you get that right at the top, then the rest of these intellectual faculties will actually hit the spot. So I'm going to move over because I could literally carry on, but I know that I will just literally take over this lesson. So I'm going to pass it on to Bobbi Jo for what she thinks around perception, and then I can tell you how the rest of mine fall in.
Woo! Perception is a big one. We all view things a different way, and we all can believe what we want to believe because we can prove it in our own way, right? What I write, I wrote a paper this morning about paradoxes, and I wrote something to the effect of like, what we seek, we find the results in our observances. Like, you're looking for that case, you'll find it. But this whole chapter is about your perception, your will, your reasoning, imagination, memory, and intuition. That these, we're not taught to think using these. We're taught to think, just react by what we see by our senses, what we see, what we smell, what we taste, what we hear, especially what we hear. We hear someone talking something or we hear something, we react, right? We're a very reactive society. And so this is where you start to have the awareness of, whoa, okay, I just heard something. Do I know this to be true? But isn't it so funny? Even if it's not true and someone insults us, we just react. Why? It's so funny, our conditioning of why we do that. Because all we have to do is pause for a moment with our will, to pause, reason with it. Is this true? Is this their perception, not my perception? And then just kind of laugh it off and move on. We have so many mental faculties to use like this, but yet we don't. We just quick as a dime react and run off. And whew, I've been guilty of it myself and still am to this day. And that's always the lesson. We're always growing. So, what is your perception of stuff? Because if you grow up wherever you're watching in the world, you have your family paradigm, your culture paradigm, and that is all your perception. And you're not wrong for it, but have that awareness that it's the cultural thing of where you grew up, because what's true for you is definitely not true for me for the most part, I bet. So, but nobody's right or wrong. It's just our own truth. But to do that truth with kindness behind it and love for one another, I mean, it's all the same bottom foundation there, but you just have to have the awareness of how you're operating, of your program that's up in the mind here.
And that's it. Whenever, Bobbi Jo was talking there about, the perception, she mentioned all the intellectual faculties. And so how I do it, like, if your perception, your concept of yourself is that I'm a winner. Let's do it. Let's do it two ways. We could say like, things never work out for me. Well, then I will reason that, well, there's no point in even trying something because it's not going to work out for me. Then my imagination has a picture of it not working out for me. Then I will try and either make it happen or I've got no will left at all, and then I would just create more and more memories of things not working out for me. And you know, that intuition, that inner tutor, you can't hear it because you're thinking your way out of it. Now, let's turn it around. And your perception is, I'm a winner. So you will reason. So I love, this is what I do now, Bobbi Jo. This might be maybe a way out there for some people, but I ask myself, who am I? If I get stuck in something, I say, who am I? And I remind myself that I'm infinite intelligence playing Sheena.
Ah,
So
I
yes,
love it.
at the weekend I was trying to, get a new SIM for my phone, and like 2 hours later, and I was just literally saying to myself, "Well, listen, I'm infinite flipping intelligence here. We can figure this out. This is not difficult." Whereas the other Sheena was starting to get agitated, and go, "Oh, I need Wolfgang to sort this out for me." But I went, "No, I'm infinite freaking intelligence here. Like, get a grip, come on." And immediately I just got back into action. I was in decisive mode, and literally then something just shifted. And yeah, anyway, blah, 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 got the SIM card on my phone. So if my concept of myself is, well, I'm infinite intelligence, that means I reason that, well, the answer's here somewhere. So now I haven't shut the doors now. The doors are now wide open. So then my imagination goes, well, what is it I'm looking for? Well, what's the outcome I'm looking for? Well, I'd love to see this. Okay. So then I'm starting to feel that vibration. And when I'm on that vibration, then I will attract ideas on that vibration. Whereas the other way, I was attracting ideas down here, which was depleting my will. So now my will is open to go, okay, imagination. And this comes with a lot of faith here. Go on, imagination. I trust you. I trusted you with all the negative stuff. I'm now going to learn to trust you with all the positive stuff as well. And so it's that not my will, but thy will be done. The imagination will. That's what we're looking for here. Well, now we're creating new memories. Memories are created. Memories aren't from yesterday. We create them now. What's the memories you want to create? These memories will go into the future. They're not from the past. They're what you're going to create in the future. Now, you're quieter. You're not thinking so much. You're not fighting. You're not pushing. You're more allowing. So now your inner tutor, you can hear her. You can hear her. And she guides you. And at the end of the day, you go, oh, that was a really good day. So do you see, like, Bobbi Jo, I mean, I love those. I love lesson 5. I had one client who actually went, I don't really get lesson 5. And I'm like, that must be your lesson. And she ended up getting the job, and she had the interview, and it was about culture change. Would you believe it? And so then they asked her about what would she do about culture change. Well, she just reiterated lesson 5, and she got the job.
This is a big one. This is a heavy hitter, lesson 5, to just cover in 5-10 minutes. There's a lot here. It's a lot because you've been conditioned to think the way you've been thinking your whole life to this point, and now you're starting to have awareness, and you're like, what are you even talking about? My memories are being created right now. No, my dad or my mom being abusive or whatever from yesterday is not me creating it to tomorrow, but it is, because you keep bringing it forth and you can never heal it. You can never move forward. Yes, we have anger. It's all good. We're perfect the way we are. We just keep trying to change ourselves. But it's all this awareness of our imagination, our memory, rewriting the script, creating the life you want. And Sheena said it right there, right? We believed we had the faith and the imagination for the shit we didn't want, right? And that's so funny because we have beliefs about what we don't want. And we go, see, I told you. Well, it's because you were in the vibration. You felt it so much that you were just there with it. So you got to learn. It's this switch of learning how to think appropriately, learning how to think and getting in that vibration. I mean, that I can say that and we can comprehend that, but intellectually, but to process that really, it took me years. I'm still doing it.
Oh
Still
God, I
doing
don't think it ever
it. I had
stops. Yeah.
5 decades. I had 5 decades of one way. I'm trying to rewrite it this way. But it's all good. I don't beat myself up in the process anymore. And the more you do the work, that just like training for any sport, if you're sitting on the couch, you're not getting very good at running marathons, are you? But if you're just out there a little bit, one foot in front of the other, one step in front of the other, and every day you just work on that, one day you look back and you'll see, wow, how much terrain you've carried, how far you've really gone. So just start thinking that awareness. I don't know. It's my number one word. It means consciousness. What are you thinking? What are you creating? Because we are powerful beings and you get to create your reality. Set your intention. Set your intention to start listening to us more on a daily basis and just have these little ideas at first. And just take them in. And in a year from now, you'll see yourself, you've grown. So bloom where you stand. That's our favorite term.
So listen, you might want to watch this video again. In fact, you might want to watch all these videos over and over and over again. But this one in particular, because it was a lot, it was only 6 words, but my goodness, those 6 words are so, so powerful. So remember to like and share and subscribe and put us a comment in there and tell us about your journey. Tell us what you'd like to hear. And yeah, we will do our best to put it in. So listen,
Have it.
it's goodbye from me and it's
Bye bye.
cheerio now.